Okay, so this is the Redmi Note 13, and let me know, like, personally I've been awaiting the release of this phone because I wanted to know if Redmi made any new changes or they just stuck with what they had. And I can confidently say that there are some good changes and there are also some changes that didn't just sit right with me. Okay, so for design, they went with a unique look. There isn't really any camera bump, just a 3-camera setup and 1 flash. It's nice to see that Redmi isn't copying, that iPhone look that every budget phone has these days. It's also a slightly different look from its predecessor, the Note 12. Like, the only difference between these two phones is that the Note 12 has a kind of closed-in look, while the Note 13 has a wider camera module. This phone is also made of plastic, glossy plastic. It also has shiny reels. Speaking of reels, you will notice that this phone doesn't come with a fingerprint scanner on the power button, but on the display of the phone. Personally, I don't really like this because it's less secure and less accurate. But if you like this, let me know in the comments. Another thing is that this phone comes with the stereo speakers on the top and the bottom. On the top also, we get a headphone jack, an IR blaster, and 1 speaker. On the bottom, we get a Type-C port, a SIM card tray, and another speaker. And note that the SIM card tray is hybrid. On the other sides, we have just a clean look, nothing really there because the SIM card tray has been moved from the side to the back. Lastly, it comes with a IP54 dust and splash resistance, which is okay. Display, you get an AMOLED 120Hz 1080p display. So the only change is that you get a 120Hz refresh rate, given that the Note 12 also had a 90Hz refresh rate. But aside from that, nothing really different. The screen also is impressive. It's very impressive, even if it's still the same as last year. This phone also comes with 1800 nits of brightness. So really, you'll be able to see your phone in the sun very clearly. This phone also comes with a screen to body ratio of 84.5%. Nothing really different because last year is only a 4% difference between the Note 13 and the Note 12. And the bezels on this phone has been reduced. So that's cool. It comes with a Snapdragon 685 processor, and yes, it's the same as the Note 12. And yes, again, this is what I meant by changes that didn't just sit right with me. Although the 685 is a good processor, I would have really expected something, new. I think all my tech lovers will understand what I mean by that. But, it is what it is. For storage, this phone comes with 8GB RAM and 256GB storage. So yes, everyday multitasking, social media, switching between apps would be, okay. Also, for gaming, it will be okay. I don't think you really notice any lags or interruptions while gaming. So basically, it can handle all games at a medium frame rate, which is cool. For software, this phone comes with Android 13 on MIUI 14. And this is kind of a bummer because I would have expected Android 14, given that Android 14 has come out for a while now. But this phone does have a software update to go to Android 14 and beyond, but I'm not really sure of the number of years of software updates or when this information is gonna come out. For camera, we get a 108 megapixel camera, which is a lot. It's a lot better than the Note 12 actually. For photos taken on this phone, the rear camera's photos are really decent. Its pictures are very consistent, vibrant, and they give this kind of highlighted look. Also, note that you have to set it on 108 megapixel mode in the settings app to shoot at 108 megapixels. We have a 8 megapixels ultra wide and a 2 megapixel macro lens. The ultra wide isn't as good as the 108 megapixels camera, but it does the job. We also get a 16 megapixel selfie cam. For videos, it shoots max at 1080p at 30 frames per second with stabilizations, which means that the videos are very nice. It looks very detailed if you have enough sunlight or light bouncing off something onto the place you're taking the photo of, which is cool. For batteries, we get a 5000 mAh battery, so yeah, no change. but basically for everyday use it should last you a full day, probably even more. But with heavy multitasking like gaming, it wouldn't last you as much. But when your phone actually dies, you can charge it with the 33-watt charger. And for context, the charger is huge, but not that huge. For new changes, we get a better design, a higher refresh rate, a better camera, and a slightly better performance. For old changes, we get the same battery and the same processor. So this phone is a very good phone. It's decent in every aspect of specs, but I don't think this is the reason why you will ditch your Note 12 for this one. This one is a good phone if you want a better performance, a better camera, better design and better display. I think you go with this one. But if you want decent specs at a decent price, I think you actually go with this phone. But it's really based on you. So let me know what you think in the comments. And also, if there's any comparison with this phone you would like to see, like the comparison of this phone with the Spark 20 Pro or the A05 or any other phone, let me know in the comments. But yeah, make sure you subscribe. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you all in the next video.